Hello everyone, Shadefyre here, and welcome back to Let's Play Resident Evil 2. This is episode 2. Last time we met our characters, who were then separated by a crazy zombie truck driver, and we made our way through the city and into the RPD, and we also met Marvin Brana, who locked us out after giving us a card key, and found a map of the police station. And now we can start actually making progress in the police station. Nope, that's not the right way. I always get mixed up where these doors are, which one is on the top part and which one's on the actual floor. Let's combine these, which might be a waste, but it's taking up less space. Deposit the ink ribbon, deposit the acid rounds, since obviously we don't have a grenade launcher, and carry on. Oh. Jill's starting item is, Claire's starting item is just like Jill's secondary special item in Resident Evil 1, the lockpick. So she doesn't have to collect old keys to open these little secret compartment things. Whereas Leon does. I guess that means Claire is also a master of unlocking? I will admit also one of the other reasons I didn't want to do Resident Evil 2 right away is because I actually know it probably the worst of the original PS1 Resident Evils. This one tries to trick you. It gives you a description, but if you search them again, it gives you bullets. But that's not really the case anymore, as I've played this about 4 times, trying to get prepared for this LP over the course of a year or so. So I think I know it a little bit better now, hopefully. Some more shaped keyholes. It's like the Spencer Mansion all over again. I hope this is not Leon's blood. And thus we meet Resident Evil 2's special enemy that we'll be seeing a lot of, the Licker. They're sort of a replacement for the Hunter. They're not as directly dangerous as the Hunters are. Especially because they're blind, so they can't really see you unless you make noise. But they can do a lot of damage really quickly. I think they have a bit more health than Hunters, though, but it's hard to tell because obviously we see them a lot earlier than you see Hunters in the first game. It's also kind of weird that they're completely absent from Resident Evil 3, considering that they're loose in the city. See, like, there you go. They just throw zombies in there right away. Now, they say our communication equipment was destroyed, but did the zombies smash the radios? Did somebody shoot the radio by accident? Is this also to explain why we find random guns throughout the station? And also there's a lot of ammo around. Also mention of an armory underground. File that away for later. And the name of the liquor is revealed. Now, if we had a lighter, we could do something about this, but again, like Jill, Claire does not start with the lighter, but Leon does, just like Chris did. There should also be some ammo back here. Maybe? Yes? No? Guess not. Or did I already pick it up? Alright. Alright, we're gonna want to clear this room. This is kind of an important spot we'll need to come back to. This is also the same hallway where Nemesis breaks into the station when you're here as Jill and starts chasing you down for the first time. Another diamond lock. Another reason to get the map early on is because you can see it actually colors the door based on what keys they are. Even if you examine the doors without the map, they won't get colored in like that, so I find it really helpful to keep track of where you need to use what keys. Okay, that was a wasted shot. I actually find having to manually reload in the menu like that isn't super necessary, at least with, you know, the pistol, because Claire reloads it really fast. It's like a 1-second thing. And we've got our first proper save room in here with its own music. Don't have to worry about sorting my inventory just yet, but I get sort of meticulous about that later on. Some more bullets hidden in that shelf. These right here are the costume lockers, which we would need Brad's key to open. And we've also got a developing room, a dark room, in case we need to develop film for some reason. Actually, is there anything in this jacket? Nope. So let's deposit these ink ribbons. And we know that there's an escape through the sewer, which again, we'll have to file away for later. So one thing this game couldn't do that Resident Evil 3 does is you can't freely walk up and down stairs. You have to actually go up and press X on them, which I believe was not the case in 3, or at least not nearly as many stairs. I think there's still a few stairs you have to do that, but here's that really weird perspective door that I always... It looks like to me it's open, or at least partially open, and there's blood running through a hole in the bottom, but it's not a door, and we'll never be able to open it. And we've got our first puzzle here. So, if we want this, we need him to get gazed at. Obviously, these two statues are facing away, not toward, and there are two square indentations on the floor. So, it's pretty simple what you need to do here. Just gotta do a little bit of feng shui redecorating. Which is a little tedious. It takes Claire a while to push stuff, but thankfully there are not a huge number of object pushing puzzles. And then we find this red jewel, which we have no real reason to take yet, but I'm sure it'll come in handy in the future. And the S.T.A.R.S office, which is our main goal in Resident Evil 3 for Jill to get to. And we get the grenade launcher fairly early. And that's another way I think this game is a bit more actiony than the first game. You know, in the first game you get a pistol and that's kind of what you're stuck with for a little while until you can get a shotgun or something. Here it's like, hey, here's the grenade launcher. Jill's desk. Chris's desk. I won't tell my sister about this because it might put her in danger, but I'm also not going to tell her not to come see me. Yeah, we got ourselves a unicorn medal, which that goddess statue in the lobby mentioned. Barry's desk, which I always think gives you ammo, but that's actually Resident Evil 3 that he has ammo. And Wesker's desk. The S.T.A.R.S team, including members of Bravo team, I believe, who... I feel like I know all these people's names, but I can never remember who's who. Joseph Frost is the guy in the bottom right with the bandana. That's the guy that dies in the opening cutscene of Resident Evil 1. The guy in the middle next to Jill is Chris. The guy next to him is Enrico Marini, the head of Bravo team. I want to say the guy next to him is Edward, who is a member of Bravo team. Yeah, pretty much everyone on the left side is like Bravo team, except Rebecca, who is a new recruit and thus is not in this photo. I think the guy in the middle with the yellow vest is Richard, who is the guy killed by a giant snake in Resident Evil 1. And the black guy is Kenneth, who you find dead at the beginning of Resident Evil 1. Alright, that's all we're going to get out of the S.T.A.R.S office. Except, there is a secret here. If you search Wesker's desk 50 times, you'll get something, so let's skip ahead and do that. If you search the desk 50 times, you get this film here. So we'll have to get that developed. Sure, let's check this random fax that came in. Alright, so the police chief has a background of rape and bribery, or being bribed, I guess, by Umbrella. So it kind of makes sense that he stonewalled Chris's attempt to investigate Umbrella after returning from the mansion. Alright, and if we look at the map here, the door around the corner is locked with a key lock, and we don't have any blue keys, so we're just going to go back. After all, we did get that unicorn medal, and we got to use that. Let's stop in the dark room for a minute to develop that photo. We're also not going to need... oh, not that. We're not going to need the red jewel for a while, so let's toss that. You know, let's toss the grenade launcher too for now. We're not going to need it right away. It's handy to have, but we don't really have that much ammo. And we need all the space we can for carrying random stuff. Alright, where is the developing part? Yes, for some reason Wesker has a picture of Rebecca in her basketball skimpy uniform, because I guess he's got a creepy thing for her. As someone mentioned when I mentioned in one of the fan remake videos, you know, why does Rebecca have a desk in the S.T.A.R.S office when there's like the rest of Bravo team that is ahead of her in rank? I still think it's weird that there's like 18 of them and there are 4 desks in the S.T.A.R.S office. Like, where do the rest of them sit most of the time? We're gonna have to go through the liquor hallway again. We could have used the grenade launcher to kill him. Nope. Gotta watch out for that. Claire apparently gets to experience what it's like to be a female cosplayer at a convention. As long as you don't get too close to the windows, they can't actually reach you. That's another, I think, good classic jump scare spot, because you don't expect it to happen. Okay, liquor hallway. I almost sprinted. So liquors are blind, and they won't hear you unless you sprint. And even then, they don't always hear you unless you're close to them, so we can probably get by this one without too much trouble, since he's by himself. Oh, yeah, he's got us. That jump attack is their most dangerous attack. It will take almost all of your health in a single hit. However, you can actually use it to your advantage, as they'll do that, and then you can run under them while they're jumping. A little bit risky, but makes it easier to avoid them. And that gets us our first shaped key. Which, if we check it here, will become the Spade Key. If you look at the map, there are 2 areas to use that. In the S.T.A.R.S hallway, where we just were, and in the hallway where the liquor is. So, back we go. It wouldn't be Resident Evil without item-based backtracking. See, I always forget he's here and I start sprinting, and then I'm like, wait a minute. Also, the broken glass isn't gonna give you away. Took a little bit of damage there, but again, not too much. We're still fine. Also, like Resident Evil 1, with Claire being a Jill comparison, Claire can take less damage than Leon. Though I think, unlike Jill, in Resident Evil 1, Chris only has 6 inventory slots, whereas Jill has 8. In here, both Leon and Claire have 8. Unless I'm completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Wouldn't be Resident Evil without a crank. What is it with this guy and cranks? We found some guy in the sewer. He dropped a bunch of explosives and bullets, but we're not too concerned about it. Alright, he's chilling on the ceiling. We're gonna run past him. Gonna grab this herb while we're here. Lickers are also not nearly as fast as hunters when they're chasing you. Trying to keep my inventory open as much as possible here so we don't have to keep backtracking. There's nothing worse than this than getting to a new area, finding a single item you need, and not being able to pick it up because your inventory's full. I'm already starting to sort my inventory. Alright, key items, weapons, health. I've always wondered if it's possible to fill up your inventory. Like, is there one spot exactly for every item in the game here? Actually, that's probably a good place to call it for this episode. I don't want these to drag on too long. Though this is not a particularly long game, at least when you're doing a single playthrough. Alright, so that'll do it for episode 2 of Let's Play Resident Evil 2. I think we made some pretty good progress in this. We saw the liquor, we found the new key, went up to the S.T.A.R.S office, got the grenade launcher. We're making good time, I think, through the RPD. We still haven't found where Leon got off to, though. Anyhow, I've been Shadefyre, and I'll see you all again some other time. Until then, you folks take care.